Hey guys, so this is the I'm guessing final uh Rings of Power um trailer. I watched it before and then my video was like copyright struck, so I'm like whatever. I mean not like copyright strike, but basically it's like anything made from here goes, to them. I don't want them getting a cent of my fucking money. So I'm like I'm just going to fucking delete it and just talk about it this way. But don't you love the symbolism type there? Because Galadriel's super powerful and she's the besties. Basically, most of this trailer is just Galadriel. They're like forcing down your fucking throat that Galadriel is super amazing and super cool and super powerful. She's a strong, powerful, independent woman who don't need no fucking man. Um, it's just ridiculous. Um, we also have Eminem. He makes an appearance. Yeah, you can see down here. Like it's just like all fucking Galadriel for the most. Well, there he is. There's Eminem. There he is. I guess his newer albums, if he's still making music, he's not doing so well. So here he is. So you go through. It's just they show this dude. Um, I don't know if they've explained who the guy is, but everyone's like, "Oh God, it looks like Gandalf because of the thing on his sleeve thing." And but super powerful women's. We got Don Lemon. Nice to know seeing was it CNN, MSNBC, wherever he is. More fucking Galadriel. She's like, this kingdom will be yours. And she like it doesn't sound very good when she says it. So I don't know if she's like how long she's been acting, but the way she delivers the line, it doesn't sound very good. Oh, you're just saying that because she's a black woman. No. If you listen to the line, I'd love to play it, but again, it would get copyright struck and any money I make would go to them. And I'm not giving them the pleasure of taking money away from me. So fuck them. Um, we got Iron Forge. I'm kidding, it's not Iron Forge. More fucking Galadriel. Don Lemon again. More Galadriel. Hobbits. Hobbits. Galadriel. 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 Do you get the idea here? Did I miss one? Galadriel. Galadriel. It might as well be called The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Galadriel, because that is who is front and center in this entire fucking thing. Is Galadriel. They want to make her look at her. She's a strong, powerful woman, and this and that. Think about the Peter Jackson trilogy. She was very powerful, and she didn't have to do a goddamn thing. As soon as the Fellowship got there and she came out, you saw the kind of respect that she commanded. You saw the kind of like almost aura she had around her. You knew she was powerful, but you didn't know how powerful. And all of that just from her standing there. And then we see some of her abilities where, she's talking to everyone and at the same time she's talking to Frodo in his mind. She didn't have to do crazy heroic shit for us to know she was powerful. Galadriel was not a warrior, not a, sword in hand warrior. Um, and that's one thing that's been pissing people off, that she's not a warrior. People like say, oh, Tolkien said Amazonian type qualities. Yeah, strong-willed, qualities. We're not talking about physical prowess and going out there into battle. She was magic based. Um, It's like the crown. It's like she's the Jesus of the world. Super Galadriel. Just you know, I can't remember when I said it. I think I said it during the which call it the I was watching what was it? The trailer for that Gollum game, and I said, oh, I would love to see the Numenorians, Numenor, them. But I would also love to see the creation, Eru Iluvatar. I would love to see the creation of this world. Eru Iluvatar, is the god. He's the creator of everything. He produces the Valar, who are kind of like angels. They go out and kind of, create things, and then they have the Maiar, which are like the servants to the Valar. The Maiar are like are Gandalf, Saruman, uh, Balrogs, um, Radagast. The wizards. Even though that's not what they actually are, those are just forms they've taken. The Astari, magic, the Magic Council, those are just forms they've taken. They're really not old. They're young and angelic and beautiful. Um, but yeah, I want to see that. I want to see Morgoth, the first Dark Lord. I want to see the fall of Sauron, when he was, because Sauron is a Valar, and it's kind of like the tale of Lucifer. Eru Iluvatar is God. He created, you know, the Valar, and Sauron was one of them. And look what happened to Sauron. So, it's kind of the tale, kind of equivalent to God and Lucifer. Um, but Morgoth was the first Dark Lord, really, and Sauron was like his lieutenant, his right hand man, his main squeeze. Um, and yeah, Morgoth was fucking vicious. That dude was fucking huge. It was fucking crazy. This guy was insane. Um, then he was defeated, and Sauron. This was the first age. Morgoth was the first age. The second age was focused more on Sauron, where he was kind of like, you can kind of think of Sauron almost like the story equivalent of like Voldemort almost. So the second age, he's kind of skulking around, building his army, kind of getting things ready for this giant takeover. He's defeated, but unlike like Voldemort, same thing. He builds up his army, gets defeated, but Voldemort actually comes when he comes back. He has other forms that he has when he's trying to get his physical form back, and then he comes back. Sauron, he has like the necromancer form that he's taken, which is kind of like an avatar. It's not actually him, but it's just a portion of his power. It's an avatar. Um, but we never actually see him in his full form because he never comes back. We see his eye, and that's pretty much as far as he gets. Lord of the in the trilogy, the Peter Jackson in Return of the King, he was supposed to appear in at the I think the Black Gates, and he was supposed to appear and fight Aragorn, but they cut that out. Um, but I would love to see, the first age. Like, why are we skipping to the second age when there's so much cool shit in the first age? Seeing Eru Iluvatar create everything, seeing him create the Valar who go out and create worlds and this and that, and see Gandalf and Saruman and all these other people that we know in their true forms, and you have, like I said, the Astari, who are the Gandalf, Saruman, Radagast, and then there's two wizards who we really don't know. They're two blue wizards. So you have Saruman the White, Gandalf the Gray, well, Gandalf the White now, Radagast the Brown, and then two blue wizards who we don't really know anything about. Um, and also Balrogs. Uh, yeah, those giant hulking flaming behemoths. Yeah, those are Maiar as well. So, um, also I think Shelob was, if I remember, Shelob was a pet or a servant of Morgoth, and then once Morgoth was defeated, Shelob kind of did her own thing. Um, but Shelob was the spawn or the daughter of another creature that was massive. Um, it was just a different time in the first stage. Fucking dragons as big as mountains, and it's fucking crazy. I want to see the first stage. The first stage is fucking awesome. Um, but here there's just like Galadriel this, Galadriel that. Look, oh my god, it's a black dwarf. Oh my god, it's a black elf. Aren't we representative? And they're trying too hard to push that down our fucking throats. When you see the interviews, it's the same fucking thing. The first black dwarf, I'm the first female dwarf on screen. No, you're not. No, you're not, sweetie. Sorry to say. You're not. Um, it's so important to see yourself on the screen. No, it's not. It's really not. Normal people don't give a fuck. I don't want to see someone who looks like me on the screen. I want someone who is attractive or chiseled or, Hulk. I don't want to see my fat, stupid ass on screen. So anyone who's like, oh, I just want to see myself represent. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's why whenever I play games or something, I don't pick humans because I am a human. I don't want to play as something that I am. And for them to say, oh, well, we're going to make characters and force diversity to reflect the real world. Middle Earth isn't the real world. It may be based on the real world, but it's not the real world. The real world doesn't have elves or dwarves or balrogs or dragons or orcs or Valar or Maiar or fucking gods and this, and it doesn't have that. So it's like the last video I did when they're just sitting there just blah 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 about fucking representation and this and that. It's like uh the elf, the black elf, and the chick. It's like, oh yeah, we're both activists, and then the last 10 seconds is like, oh yeah, I know Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I brought that to the character. Oh, okay. So in the 5-6 minutes you were talking, you couldn't have brought that up sooner. Instead, it's just, oh yeah, I like seeing people of my color on screen. It's great to have representation. I I don't know why so many people are bashing it. It hasn't even come out yet. Well, it's like that meme. You don't need to know that it's, you know, like the bread or the table with the guy standing on the table. He's got his ass open, and it's like that's shit. Well, how do you know it hasn't come out yet? It's like I don't need to see it to know it's shit. And when you focus so much of your promotion of bashing fans, bashing the works of Tolkien, trying to promote nothing but the fucking representation and diversity without talking about the actual story itself or the characters or this, it's doomed to fail because it's all superficial shit. Like I've said before, all these people care about is your skin color, your gender, what's between your legs, and who you prefer to sleep with. They don't. They just take that and then base everything else around that. That's why you hear them talking like, oh, diversity, representation, see yourself on the screen. I'm the first this, the first black that. It's all superficial shit. And when you have something like Tolkien and his works, and that's what you choose to focus on is the superficial shit, you push people away. And then when people have valid criticisms, then you're like, oh, well, you're just a bunch of fucking man babies, even though women like Lord of the Rings too, and they're criticizing it as well. You're just a bunch of misogynistic homophobes and you hate people of color. No, wait, we hate when Hollywood takes a hold of you know, things that we like and just shits all over them, not respecting the source material or anything like that. Just pushing your fucking identity politics into everything. That's what we hate. But September 2nd, it's coming out. Like I said, why did they start with the Second Age? Why can't we just go back to the beginning? I just want to see, where the most things that were happening. There were so many events that happened from the creation up to the Second Age. Like I said, Morgoth. That dude was vicious. If I remember, he was worse than Sauron. So think of how bad it was with Sauron, and all that. But just take Sauron and like 1,000 times worse. We want that. I want to see Gandalf and Saruman and all them in their true forms. You know, because like I said, they're basically like angels, where they can come down and they can choose their forms. They can't like do things for you. So it's like, well, why didn't Gandalf just take the eagles and go destroy the ring? Because he couldn't. He's not allowed to. He can help, he can assist, but he cannot directly do anything himself. He has to let the mortals, the human race or the races of man and elves and dwarf and let take care of their own affairs. They can assist, but they can't actually do it for you. It's kind of like a parent trying to train and let their kid be independent. Um, so they can't interfere, but they chose to be wizards or old men because they blended in better. They're friendly looking, approachable. Sauron did that all the time. That's how he got the rings made for him. Um, so he took this form of Anatar, Anatar, Lord of Gifts. Um, but he kind of took many guises, but this was his main form that he would take. Um, just to kind of sway. It's, oh hey, look, I've got these for you and this and that, but oh hey, by the way, could you make me a couple of rings? It'll be great if you did that for me. I greatly appreciate it. Actually, I want to see if they have any like cool looking artwork just to kind of give you an idea of what he looks like. So I found this, and actually, I think this was the scene I was telling you guys about not too long ago. This was from the third movie. This is how Sauron would appear at first. He would appear as Anatar, his angelic, beautiful form before everyone, and then he would take his Dark Lord form that we know so much. Um, but this was the form that he took when he went around and tried to convincing. Not really. It didn't take a whole lot of convincing, really. When he went around and had the rings made for him. Let's see if it says anything that I haven't said yet. Anatar, Lord of Gifts, was what I said, is actually an alias to Sauron during the Second Age, when he appeared in his fair form and deceived the elves into creating the Rings of Power. Yeah. He successfully deceived most of the elves, but as soon as he put on his ring, the elves sensed his treachery and hid theirs. Yeah. Yeah, there's Sauron we all know and love. At least his helmet. Um, but yeah, it's like what they said. So basically, he pretty much figured that when he put on the ring, he'd be able to command everything. But the elves were kind of, they're wise. So when he put on his ring and tried to, dominate, they could sense it. Um, so they kind of realized, hey, this guy is he's bad news. But what you saw, that was the form he took when he went around. I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see, that does take place in the Second Age, and this does take place in the Second Age. But that's what I expect Anatar to look like. That's what I expect Sauron to look like. Angelic and beautiful. Because that's the whole point. He's going around trying to deceive people. You're going to take a form that people are going to trust. They're going to look at him, oh my god, he's gorgeous. You know, he's going to be very eloquent and well spoken and uh you know, and it's going to be able to sway pretty much everyone. Hence how he got the rings made for him in the first place. Only after the rings were made and he put his on did the elves realize, hey, we done goofed. But um I want to see that. But like I said, I want to see the first age. It should have been like, okay, we've done the third age. Let's go back to the beginning and kind of work our way up. Because there's so many fucking events that happen during the creation in the first age that just completely need to be explored. Um, but yeah, they're just like I said. You just go through, and it's just like Galadriel, Galadriel, Galadriel. I understand that she's probably like the main character in here, but it's just like they're just forcing strong, independent female down our fucking throats. But I mean, it doesn't matter to me, honestly. I'm not gonna fucking watch. I mean, I can't watch it. I don't have Amazon Prime, so I'm certainly not gonna pay for it just to fucking watch this shit show. It didn't even come out again. You don't need to see its shit to know it's shit, you know. But and quite frankly, some of the CGI, it's pretty bad that the CGI 20 fucking years ago looks better than some of this shit. Like I think what was it? I think the last one, not yeah, Elrond right there. Um, yeah, they showed some of their armor. So you have like this like chainmail scale looking armor, but then you have just like regular cloth that has like that scale pattern on it. It's like, wow, really great there, guys. Like this, it's just it's like an uncanny valley kind of thing. It looks more like a video game. This looks like something you'd see a cut in a cutscene. You know, flying over the mountains, introducing the game. The land of is plagued by a darkness known as blah blah blah. It is up to you, the hero of blah blah blah, to save the world. But first, you know, it's like one of those things. Anyways, that's enough complaining. See you guys later. Bye.